You're tuned to The Drive on your 24/7 home of the black and gold. Steelers Nation Radio.
Good afternoon, Steeler Nation. It's The Drive on a Friday on the Steelers Audio Network. Wes Uhler, Matt Williamson with you here. Our last show, well, for about a week in studio.
In studio, but only for about a day in terms of when you're going to hear from us again. Yeah, right.
Because we are off to Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia, Atlanta, L.A. No, we're off to Phoenix, Arizona tomorrow, of course, in anticipation of the league meetings, the owners' meetings. We will have that bonus Sunday show. We'll be broadcasting live at the beginning of the week out there in Phoenix. Looking forward to it. Bonus Sunday show, bonus hour on the show every single day, Matt. There will be a lot of moving and shaking, and it'll be my first time out there. I'm just looking.
Yeah, it's a cool environment.
It's kind of. I was having this conversation with my dad last night when we were flying back or waiting for the plane or whatever. You know, I've been doing this now. You know, if you include the 3 years that I spent with the Eagles for like 11, 12 years, and it's, I think, the only thing in the NFL sphere that I haven't done. Like,
all right, makes sense. All the events you can go to and stuff.
I got to do Super Bowl.
I haven't been to a Super Bowl.
I haven't been to a Super Bowl, but I got to do Super Bowl week in Radio Row when I was with the Eagles. Like, we flew out to Minnesota and did our shows there all
I assume
week.
That's like a more glamorous combine.
Yes.
It
was at Mall of America, so the Radio Row was set up right in the middle of Mall of America, so it was a who's who, and there's, you know, I've told you this story about John Randall, like, tapping me on the shoulder and scaring the crap out of me. And
I bet people are dressed a little nicer.
Yes, it's a little more glamorous. There's a ton of A-list celebrities around, both athletes and just
everyone.
People, you know, you might bump into Brad Pitt or Leonardo DiCaprio or...
That's kind of cool.
You know, some famous musician or somebody like that. But yeah, haven't been to a Super Bowl, but I did the whole Super Bowl week, Radio Row. I've done drafts and combines and training camps, and I think I've been to 24 of the 30 NFL stadiums. But that's
pretty cool. Yeah,
this is kind of the last. We did an international game together. This year.
How about that? Think of that. Okay,
but this is kind of, I think, the last box for me to check in terms of the NFL calendar.
Yeah, and looking forward to it. I mean, the weather will be awesome. The environment will be cool. A lot going on. You will see a lot of big name people in the league, and then there are definitely going to be like celebrities and stuff there at like the owners' party as well. I'm not sure what everybody's talking about this week, but there'll be buzz. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
So it's funny you say that, Matt. That's where I wanted to go.
Yeah, I know. Like the tush push is not a thing that they're talking about, and that's when we left the owners' meetings a year ago. Like, oh, next year they're going to ban that thing. It was a done deal, right?
So I'm glad you said that because that's where I wanted to go first. We have a little bit of an idea. We will learn more, obviously, once we get there tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
But we have a little bit of an idea what will be on the docket. But I think the biggest thing as we sit here now is that the tush push will not be, a year after, Matt, being 2 votes away from getting banned.
You're right.
So it's not like there was this massive gap of, okay, clearly the vast majority of the league is on board with this. There's only 2 votes shy of banning the tush push last year, and now it's off the agenda completely for this year.
So if you remember, Coach Tomlin was on the competition committee, and I assume it'll work the same as when Tomlin was the head coach with McCarthy. Anyway, but there's a breakfast for the AFC coaches one day, there's a breakfast for the NFC coaches the other day, and there's 16 huge round tables. And if I want, I could go sit there and listen to Sean Payton, or you can, or whatever, or the NFC one, whatever you want to do. You don't have to, like, be glued to your city. But the Steelers, and I'm not sure if the other teams do this or not, also have a round table for the local reporters.
Yes.
Alec and those guys will all be there, you know. And
Jerry
I don't think I don't think anybody just pops in there. And I sat there with those guys. I didn't like put a microphone down or ask any questions. I just kind of hovered in the background and listened. And people were asking Tomlin about the tush push because he's on the competition committee. And the big thing he said was, and it made all the sense in the world, is we just didn't have enough actual play calls of the tush push to make enough of a judgment. I mean, if you think about how many tush pushes have been called before this season, maybe there's 50, and they were all by the Eagles.
Sure, right.
You know, this year it picked up heavy.
Yeah.
And, you know, the big concern was, is it going to be a dangerous play? Someone pushed a quarterback from behind. Nobody had gotten hurt to this point, but there was such a small sample size. It was hard to pass it because we didn't have much to go off of. apparently they had a lot more sample. I mean, all these teams, including the Steelers, are doing some version of it, and no one got hurt, and so I guess no one has a problem with it anymore. That's my hunch.
That was my interpretation, too.
Yeah.
You've seen it evolve. You know, a lot of the teams, it's not the same as Philly. It's same church, different pew, maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
Steelers have some wrinkles off it.
Steelers have some wrinkles off it. The
right.
Buffalo Bills have some wrinkles off of it, all these different things. And yeah, so that was my best guess interpretation. Maybe we'll learn a little bit more about that once we get our boots on the ground this weekend. The competition committee now is comprised of, let's see.
It must have been a lot of changes because it's usually the most tenured head coaches, and there's a lot of changes.
Yeah, exactly right. So Rich McKay and Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys, Cincinnati Bengals Vice President Katie Blackburn, Tampa Bay Bucks head coach Todd Bowles, Niners general manager and NFL Hall of Famer John Lynch, New York Giants owner John Mara, Los Angeles Rams coach Sean. That's wrong. Sean McVay doesn't coach the. Sorry.
The Rams?
I'm reading this wrong. I'm reading Sean Payton. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Rams coach Sean McVay. Broncos coach Sean Payton.
Gotcha.
Vikings coach Kevin O'Connell. Texans coach DeMeco Ryans. New England Patriots coach Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, I knew it was mostly coaches. So
that's the new competition committee. And for any rule to pass, a yes vote from at least 24 of the 32 teams to gain approval.
Right. It's not like those guys are
the ones
the
who decide.
almighty committee.
They're not the Supreme Court. You
know?
No,
right.
Yeah. And so here's, again, what we know as of now that will be on the docket, on the agenda. Among the proposals is a modification that will allow the kicking team to declare an onside kick at any time during the game rather than only when trailing or in the fourth quarter. That
popped up late in the year. I want to say it was a Chiefs game or something where it was like a minute left in the third quarter, and it was the Super Bowl when they were one of the teams was losing bad. Was it this past
Patriots,
Super Bowl?
Right?
Yeah.
Was it this past one?
Was it this past one or maybe two ago when the Chiefs were getting beat bad? I think that's right.
The Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously, I want to kick an onside kick here. There's 30 seconds left in the third quarter, and we can't do it because it's not the fourth quarter yet.
Sure.
I don't think they'd have won the game, but
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
If you're going to declare it, it should happen anytime.
It should happen anytime, yeah.
I just hate the have to declare it.
Same. And I wonder if maybe Sean Payton will have anything to say about that after famously the surprise onside kick to start the second half of the Super Bowl flipped that game on its head. Another proposed rule change would eliminate the kicking team's incentive to intentionally boot the ball out of bounds when kicking off from the 40-yard line. So we've seen that a little bit when penalties, right, might as well kick the ball out because it's going to be smarter for us in terms of field position.
I think that was the Dublin game, but Danny Smith called that once this year too, and it was a smart move.
Smart.
Yeah.
Because if the other team, gets a penalty, or whatever like that, and you're moved up, then all of a sudden the penalty gets moved, and so instead of giving them the ball,
you'll take the 40, right?
Instead of giving them the ball at the 45-yard line, you give it to them at the 30, and you're like, oh, we'll take that.
That sounds
better
bad,
than the 35.
Yeah. And there's no chance of a return for a touchdown, or
Exactly. And also a kickoff rule proposal calling for modifying the alignment requirements for receiving players in the setup zone. So that's the whole setup zone and landing zone and all that stuff now that's part of the dynamic kickoff.
I don't know the answer to this, but I'm definitely going to snoop around a little bit on that one because I think you have to line up everyone in the exact same spots. It's not like offense or defense or how kickoffs used to be.
Your own formation.
Everybody has two back, and what if I only want one guy back?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Needless to say, 2 years ago when we were at the owners' meetings, they passed the dynamic kickoff for the first time.
Okay.
And the Steelers signed Cordell Patterson 4 seconds after that, thinking I'm going to get the best return guy out there. And all we talked about for months, going all the way through training camp, is what's the dynamic kickoff going to do? What's it going to do? Talked it to death. And in the end, it didn't change things much. But then this past year, they made some tweaks to it, and now it has a lot more ramifications, and I like it a lot more, and it's a lot more influential. But needless to say, this is still in the infantile stages, and they're tweaking
only 2
every
years
year.
Into it.
Right. Every year, they're adding a little something to it.
Also on the table is a proposal to allow league personnel to consult with on-field officials when considering ejections for flagrant fouls or non-football acts, even if the infraction was missed by the referees on the field. This would be the only situation in which the NFL's control center could place a flag on the field.
Okay.
So
So they're not allowed to actually put a flag on the field now.
Say maybe like a Jamar Chase, Jalen Ramsey type situation where one player's saying this guy spit on me and the referees didn't see it. And
maybe I need to go to replay to verify
someone
it.
Someone from the command center can buzz down to the ref and say, hey, that dude punched that dude, or that dude spit on that guy, or that dude, stomped on somebody, whatever.
Then a drone comes from out of nowhere and drops a flag from the sky. And you're right.
from way up
heavens,
in the booth, up in the suites, they throw a flag down. And a fifth proposal would allow the NFL officiating department to correct clear and obvious missed calls by referees, although that rule would only be implemented if there is a referee work stoppage and the league has to use replacement officials.
This replacement official thing might not be going away anytime soon.
And that's, other than rule changes, that's the second biggest thing that is listed on the docket is referee negotiations.
We'll get second, third-hand information of how that works and whatnot.
Yes.
But, okay. I'm sure that's a big deal to the owners, though.
Yes, and according to The Athletic and New York Times, talks have broken off between the two parties, but Roger Goodell could provide updates on where things stand during his State of the League news conference at the end of the meetings. I'm sure it'll come out. Yeah. I think that is safe to assume that he's going to be asked about that.
Yes.
Also, technological advances on the table. Technology to improve the game, how that works with officials, how that works to track things like preventative injuries, things like equipment, things like playing surfaces across the league.
Playing surfaces is a big one.
And virtually measuring for first downs.
Yeah, okay.
So all these different technological advances will be on the docket as well.
For example, a couple of years ago, the cameras on the pylons in the end zone got installed because they had enough technology that they trusted it. Mm-hmm. Or this past year, I forget what they call it, but it's the same thing in tennis, whether a ball's in or out, when they go to that virtual first down thing, and then it comes up on the scoreboard, you're 6 inches short or 2 inches short, or you made it or whatever. So I have no problem with technological advances adding to the game. If it makes it better.
Same, as long as it doesn't become too clunky.
I don't want it to be cumbersome.
That's my only thing.
Just
see
be good at it.
Exactly right. Be efficient with it. But you see sometimes these games just get so broken up with so many reviews, and then it becomes like, all right, what are we doing here? Do we really need to be reviewing a 7-yard catch in the second quarter?
Yeah,
is that going to have that drastic of an So, but I'm with you in general. I think as much as you can within reason and kind of uniformity across the board, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that kind of stuff. International reach is.
It always used to make me crazy that two dudes would run out with their chains. And, this is how we're going to figure it out.
I don't get that at all. That part makes no sense. Just have a sensor in the ball or something.
This is going to be a better answer than
that. You can still have the guys holding the chains, and it lights up if it's a first down, or whatever.
There's got to be something better than that than two old dudes with chains.
Of course, international reach of the league is something that will be discussed by the owners.
Oh, yeah.
The 2026 season will feature 9 international contests, 3 in London, 1 in Munich, 1 in Madrid, 1 in Paris, 1 in Mexico, and 1 in Brazil. Okay. And the first in Melbourne, Australia. The current CBA allows 10 international games per season. There are reports that the owners would like to expand that slate to 16 in the near future.
Okay. I didn't know that was in the CBA, that you could only have 10. That's the first I'd ever heard that. And I'm surprised they don't have 10.
9.
Yeah, right. Like, what are they holding back? Go to Dublin again,
All right, fine. Twist our arm. We'll go to Dublin again. Sign us up.
Steelers will be the away team this time. I think that's coming too. I mean, I'm sure it's been discussed a lot. I don't even know if it's on your list, but I definitely think 18 games, 2 byes, more international.
It's not on
this
list from the Athletic and from the New York Times, but I would think that's going to come up at some point.
I think they've already.
It's a matter of when, not if.
I mean, if it's just the owners sitting down meeting, they're all going to say yes. 18 games, and yeah. That's coming, folks.
Would I rather have a regular season game with 70,000 people in the stands, or a preseason game with half that?
Right. That nobody cares about. Right?
No brainer from a business standpoint. And then finally, Matt, flag football. Ahead of the launch of flag football, for those who are not familiar, the 2028 Summer Olympics are in LA. They're in the United States. Your boy has already entered the first round of the ticket lottery.
I heard.
Lottery, by the way. And you're allowed to enter for 3 separate events for the Olympics. So when you enter the lottery, you have to specify the 3 events that you would want to go to.
Okay, you as a spectator you're talking
about.
Okay, yeah.
So your boy put in track and field, swimming, and flag football.
Wow, okay.
Because it's, we saw a little bit of this with that tournament that was last week, Joe Burrow and Saquon Barkley.
I didn't watch any of it, but
I didn't either.
I guess it was entertaining, people.
I saw a few highlights, on Twitter and that type of thing, but
I keep getting asked if Brady should come back.
Odell Beckham Jr. too. Apparently he was cutting it up out there. A portion of the owners' meetings will have time devoted to further discussions and planning for the launch of flag football as an Olympic sport, as well as logistical and business matters related to the creation of a professional men's and women's flag football league.
Huh. Cool. Okay.
Each team in the NFL has already committed an investment of $1 million each, so $32 million total to help launch the leagues ahead of the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles.
I don't know if you know this answer, if anybody knows this answer, but that doesn't mean there'd be 32 teams in the flag football league in the same cities.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't think so either.
I would almost think it would be the other way, where you'd have it be
It'd be like in Morgantown or State College.
Exactly
right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Somewhere that has a stadium.
Akron. Places like that, where oftentimes you see minor league sports and college sports, but not quite big enough to.
I don't think you went in Chicago.
Right. Or maybe some of these maybe like a city like Indianapolis that only has 2 professional sports teams.
Maybe Pittsburgh would even have one. Right.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That'd be an interesting thing to keep an eye on. But
Portland instead of Seattle, or
Right. Orlando. Things like that. But that'll be an interesting thing to keep an eye on for sure. So that's kind of your owners' meeting primer. What you could expect Matt and I to be talking about as we kind of are looking ahead to our flight tomorrow and our Sunday show. Matt, I got it before that. That just made me think of one last thing here before we go to break. I'm I guess you could call me a deadhead, right? I used to get called, Mike Pursuta used to call me the world's youngest deadhead. I'm 35 now. I don't think that's the case anymore, but
I'm sure, but still, that's a long time ago that people were touring with the dead.
In the lexicon of Grateful Dead history, there's a phrase of never miss a Sunday show. Because the Dead would rarely play a Sunday show.
Are they a little special?
But when they did, something crazy would always happen, something different, a song that they don't play very often, or a special guest, or something like that.
I didn't know that about them. All right.
So when it comes to Matt and Wes on
the drive,
huh?
Yeah.
Never miss a Sunday show.
Love it.
And we'll be doing it from Phoenix.
I'm getting geared up. I'm psyched about going.
Me too. Yeah. I am, because I was obviously just on 2 flights yesterday, so I'm not necessarily psyched about being on a plane for 5 hours again tomorrow. But other than that, I am very, very
I'll be happy
excited.
when we get there.
Yes, that's exactly right. And it's 90 degrees outside and some sunshine. And I think Matt and I might find some good places for food and drink while we're out there as well. I know Max is going to be out there.
I said Max has some tips too.
Maybe
he's
Max,
helpful in that regard.
He can schlep us around town and show us all the sights.
So I guess I should know this, but will Max sit down with us during the 3 hours?
He better.
Okay,
I'm
going to say, I assume somebody else will sit down once in a while with us.
I don't know why you're asking me. You're the one who's done it before.
I think people have. I'm pretty sure Max has.
I packed an extra headset. So.
Yeah.
And we should.
If Halleck was around, should we grab him?
We should grab Halleck.
Okay,
maybe after some of those scrums, maybe we'll grab Dulac and some of those.
I'll know people from other cities too. I'll start digging around.
That'd be awesome.
It's not like the combine with my draft buddies and all that kind of stuff, but
But still, we can grab someone from Cleveland, from Baltimore, from Cincinnati.
I've told you the Harbaugh story, right?
I was just about to say maybe we'll get John Harbaugh this year. Now that he's no longer the head coach of a division rival,
he was game, dude.
We can have the head coach of the Giants on for 10 minutes. That's fine.
Yeah,
that is a great story about. For those unfamiliar, what Matt is referencing, last year at the owners' meetings,
it was the last day.
Him and Dale are doing a show.
Yeah, we're the only table set up.
And Harbaugh walks by and
with his wife.
It says something like, Steelers radio, right?
Something like go Ravens, or we're in this huge hall, and obviously he heard. I mean, we're the only people there, and I'm like, hey, you want to come join us, Coach? And he's like, sure. And we didn't have an extra headset, and we were live on the air, and I'm like,
I didn't think he was gonna say yes.
And then I'm thinking, maybe I'll get in trouble for doing this too. And I'm like, this could go wrong.
You can't have the Ravens head coach on Steelers Nation Radio, but you can have the Giants head coach on Steelers Nation Radio.
Yeah,
why not?
Right.
Why not?
We will grab Minter. But he was super cool about it. He's like, sure,
awesome.
But he was kind of he was very nice about it, but he was also like, yeah, I'll do battle with you guys, Not like we were Best Buy. It wasn't like it was coming on Ravens Nation Radio.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But it was cool.
That's fantastic.
Dale lost it. He's like, now what are we going to do? I'm like, here, take my headset, or I'll take yours, or whatever. Don't worry about it. You're with your wife.
That's amazing. That's so good. Hopefully we'll have plenty more fun interactions and things like that happening when we get to Phoenix tomorrow and kick off our shows on Sunday. Before we fly across country, though, we have to get into our weekly mock draft.
Oh, okay.
We will do that when we return here in hour number 1 of The Drive. Just getting started today. Wes Uhler, Matt Williamson, Steelers Nation Radio on the Steelers Audio Network.
What's up, NFL fans? The NFL Draft is finally here. And while you might not know who your team is drafting this year, you do know your watch party's #1 pick, Bud Light. The clean, crisp taste that has all the scouts talking. Guess that's why it's been the group's go-to draft beer season after season. Be sure to order a round for the table before your team's on the clock. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Rolling along here on The Drive on this Friday edition before we take this thing on the road for a few days out in Phoenix, Arizona. To close down the week, I think we've been doing this, I don't know, now maybe this is the 3rd straight week.
Yeah.
It's fun, and it's also just kind of an easy sailing Friday exercise into the weekend, Matt.
We might have to do one twice a week now going forward.
We might.
Yeah, right.
Well, especially next week when we're going to have 3-hour shows, baby.
That's a
We're
good
going to have
point.
some time to kill. But it is, of course, our weekly SNR Drive mock draft. This is either 3.0 or 4.0. I think it's the 4th one that we've done.
We're less than a month till draft day, right?
We sure are.
Yeah.
We absolutely are. April 23rd is the Thursday, the first round, and so yeah, we're less than a month out.
Yeah.
So looking forward to it. And with that, we will get into our weekly mock draft here, and we will roll along and do so. Before we get into it, Matt, I got to thank the people. Okay.
Oh.
Multiple people tweeted me. You remember last week, I had been using the Pro Football Focus mock draft simulator.
Mm-hmm. That's usually the one I use. Just seems like.
But if you'll remember, they, unless you like pay for premium or whatever, they won't let you make trades.
Oh, right.
And so we wanted to make trades at some times, but it wouldn't let me unless you like sign up for premium.
Not doing that on the air for one thing.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, that's not the best radio. But I had shout out to the people as always. I had 3 or 4 different people that were like, "Dude, just use the Pro Football Network one. It's so much better. You can make
people
trades.
love that one.
It's free."
Yeah.
And so I
wrote a few articles for Pro Football Network way back when.
in the day.
All right.
I selected the Steelers, fired up the mock draft simulator, and I'm already liking what I'm seeing here because it's been different than what we've done.
Plus the rankings are different. Like if you go the same one over and over, like you end up with the same guys all the time.
Correct. And this one has trades, and there's been some trades.
Okay.
In fact, a couple of trades here in the first round that'll be interesting to get into. So, no shocker, the Raiders take Fernando Mendoza first overall.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, the Jets take Arvell Reese.
So I think Ohio State's pro day was yesterday, and all I heard was everybody went crazy, but I didn't look at the numbers, and I guess he was phenomenal.
Okay,
That's who I would take it to.
Yeah, I saw some video cut-ups on social media of Ruben Baines like bend around the edge versus Arvell Reese, and Arvell Reese was much higher and stiffer. But
yeah.
He's not a true edge rusher yet.
Yes.
I
did see a still shot of Bain that almost looked photoshopped how low he got.
How low to the ground he was, yeah. And Ruben Bain goes 3rd to the Cardinals in this mock draft.
I still don't have a great grasp of what the Cardinals are going to do.
I think they could do anything.
I bet they'd love to trade back 5 spots.
I'm sure they
pick up some picks.
I'm sure they would.
Yeah,
but I don't think there's
who's
going to trade up. But in this mock draft here, Matt, the Jets traded up back into the draft here to pick 4 with the Titans.
So they would pick 2 and 4.
So they sent their 16th pick and their 2nd round 33rd overall to the Titans for pick 4. So the Titans move back to 16 and they get
pick something up.
The second round 2nd overall pick.
Deep down, I don't think that's enough to move that far, but fair enough.
Sure, I would agree. But
I also think teams picking the top will take less to move back this year.
That's a fair. I think that's a fair assumption too. Jets take David Bailey, so they get Arvell.
2 edges.
They get Arvell Reese and David Bailey.
Okay.
I don't know if they would do that.
No, that sounds pretty extreme.
For the sake of this exercise, it's something different. Number 5, Carnell Tate goes to the Giants. My goodness, would that be
I get it. I mean, if you're
really
trying
good
to be
wide receiver room.
If you're going to make Dart's life as easy as possible, which should be the goal of the entire organization, I think he's the offensive player that would do that for you. I mean, their O-line's not perfect, but they brought back Illuminor. They have Thomas. I would think that's in the cards.
Wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. I would rather do that than draft Love if I were them. Not because I love Scatteroo, but I mean just because they're okay at running back.
Johnny Knoxville, Cam Scatteroo. Number 6, the Brands. They stay in state. They take Sonny Styles, linebacker out of
I guess they lost
Ohio
Bush.
State.
I always just assume that'll be offense. Side note.
But at this point, no offensive linemen have gone. They could have their choice of any of those guys.
Yeah.
But
maybe they would have grabbed Tate.
Sonny Styles could be the best player in this class. So
I get it. Side note, and maybe something we'll talk about or even be buzzing at the owners meeting. You were in Chicago yesterday, but it was kind of under the radar that Myles Garrett did some stuff with his contract that he could be traded.
Ooh.
I think that there's a real possibility now that he is not a Brown to start the season.
I like that. Ooh, man. Hopefully, listen, I wouldn't hate it if something happened. Some reports came out next week and gave us something to talk about down there.
I could see that being some buzz amongst the people in the know.
Number 7, Caleb Downs. So back-to-back Buckeyes off the board. His Downs goes to the Commanders.
Yeah, sure.
Number 8, another trade, Matt. The Saints send the 8th pick to the Browns for the 24th pick.
So the Browns and Jets would have 2 top 8 picks.
The 24th pick, the 39th pick in the second round, and Cleveland's second rounder next year.
Huh, that's more like it.
That's more like it. And the Browns select Jordan Tyson, wide receiver out of Arizona State.
Seems early to me, but I guess Tate already went, and they must felt like they had to have one, you know.
So now
these are simulations; these aren't real people making these picks.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Now this would be very interesting because number 9, the Chiefs are on the clock, and they could have their choice of any offensive lineman.
Okay.
Also, Jeremiah Love's still there. This has them taking Francis Mauigoa out of Miami.
I don't dislike that either. I mean, right tackle, they moved on from Taylor. They signed the other Moore last year, who's overpriced. You got to be young at or you got to be cheap at tackle if you're going to have a Mahomes type contract.
Yes.
You know, somewhere you got to figure that out. I think that's a good move. And it'd be a really good line.
Would be that would make a lot of sense for Kansas City. Number 10, the Bengals select Mansour Delane, corner from LSU.
Quite possible, yeah.
They need all the help on defense.
I would take Styles or Downs ahead of him if I were them, because linebacker's really, really bad for them. But
yes.
They were both gone.
But they were both gone. Number 11, Jermod McCoy, corner out of Tennessee. He's got a big pro day coming up here in a few days.
Maybe we'll hear some buzz about his health while we're there, too.
His pro day will be on Monday while we're...
Okay,
so,
then we'll definitely hear something.
He'll have something, yeah.
I assume he's participating.
I would hope for his
better
sake.
at this point,
yes,
right.
No, they've said that he is.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The Rams and the Cowboys swap pick 12 and 13.
Okay.
The Cowboys pick up an extra 93rd overall from L.A., third-round pick from the Rams. The Rams select Monroe Freeling, tackle out of Georgia at 12. The Cowboys select Dylan Fenneman, safety out of Oregon at 13.
Good for the Cowboys. They would have taken him at 12.
Take him at
obviously.
12,
Yeah,
pick up an
get a
extra
little
pick.
something extra, something.
So 14, the Ravens on the board with only one offensive lineman gone, or sorry, 2 offensive linemen gone so far. The Ravens select Mekhi Lemon, wide receiver, USC.
Yeah, a lot of people, and I get it, just put Fanu or Vega, which is a huge need, but a real wide receiver is not a bad move either.
No, it is not, my friend. No, it is not. They need a lot of help on that offense.
They do. There's a lot of pieces they could use.
So they go Mekhi Lemon at 14. He goes to Baltimore. Number 15, the Tampa Bay Bucks select Keldrick Falk, edge rusher out of Auburn.
Steelers would like that. He can't be in their sights.
Steelers would like this too, and I guess I would be surprised if he lasted this long, but it is running back. Jeremiah Love goes 16.
Yeah, I just can't imagine that happens.
But if you were Tennessee, if this was...
Well, you may have taken him anyways, right?
If this was TNR, Titans Nation Radio.
Yeah.
And we would say right now, you could trade back to 16, pick up
anything.
Pick 33 as well, And you get Jeremiah Love still at 16. I think if we were Titans Nation Radio, we'd sign up for that in a heartbeat.
Now, I will say, if he gets out of the top 8 or so, there aren't as many landing spots.
Right.
I mean, he could conceivably
Like, he's
fall.
not going to Miami.
Right.
You know, he's not going to Dallas. He's not
Cincy.
going to Baltimore, I wouldn't think.
I wouldn't think. I mean, I would think some teams might start calling to trade up at that point.
I would absolutely think so
Yeah.
if he starts to get close to the double-digit picks. 17th, the Lions select Akeem Messidor, edge rusher out of the U.
Okay. I always pigeon him. I always put them on team. I always put him on a team that needs to win now, and that fits. It's often Tampa Bay,
18, the Vikings select Caden Proctor, the big boy, offensive lineman out of Alabama.
Okay. I'm not sure O-line's a huge need, but fair enough.
19th, the Panthers take Caleb Lomu, ends up going ahead of Fanu at 19.
He's a pure tackle.
He is a pure tackle. And there's a lot to like with his game.
Yeah.
And then, Matt, the Cowboys on the clock again at pick 20, but they make a trade with the Niners. They move back to pick 27, and they pick up an extra second rounder. The Niners leapfrog the Steelers to draft Spencer Fanu, the other. So the Utah offensive linemen go back-to-back.
I was wondering how advanced this program is or whatever.
I kind of like that because that's something that a team could. They could be like, Steelers are going to take one of these offensive linemen. We got to go get them.
That's my exact thought. I'm like, I give this credit because that makes sense. I'm like, I'm going to have a hard time passing on Fanu. He might be your left guard and then maybe left tackle. And
Heck yeah.
I bet John Lynch is thinking the same thing in this.
I wouldn't like it if it played out like that for the Steelers. I'd like the Cowboys to stay there and, draft some
defense
player.
or some edge guy or something, right?
But that's why I like this. And thanks to all of our listeners for telling me to get my head out of my rear end and get over to the Pro Football Network. So Steelers on the clock at pick 21, Matt. And yes, Venga Ioane is still there.
Love it.
As is Kenyon Sadiq, Peter Woods, Avion Terrell, Caden McDonald, Omar Cooper Jr., K.C. Concepcion, Matt's new draft crush, Blake Miller, Brandon Cisse, C.J. Allen, Ty Simpson. We also, of course, Matt, have, 3 trade offers, all right?
Okay. I get accused of trading down too often. But
we haven't yet in one of these.
That's true.
In our first 3 SNR Drive mock drafts, we've stayed at 21. Cowboys are – man, the Cowboys getting active.
I say they're busy.
Cowboys have offered us pick 27 and pick 58.
I think I'm comfortable going that far.
With one of our 4th rounders from this year as well, too. So we'd give up this pick and a 4th rounder for pick 27 and 58. I think I would do that.
I think I would do that. I think you probably lose out on Vega.
You might.
I mean, I'm just saying you can't count on him being there.
Yeah.
But my buddy Max would probably be around.
Ooh.
Concepcion has a chance to be there or another wide receiver of note.
Chiefs offer us pick 29 and pick 74 for this pick.
The other one's a better deal.
I think the other one's a better deal. The Bengals, we're not doing business with the Bengals.
Nope.
So should we accept that Cowboys trade? I think we should.
Yeah, I think we should.
We're just going to draft Venga and do the same thing that we've done for
that's a good point, right. And he might be there. He's a guard. He could fall.
Let's do it. All right. Here's how it worked out. At pick 21, the Cowboys took Avion Terrell, corner out of Clemson, younger brother of A.J. Terrell.
I assumed they were coming up for a defensive player, which I don't think hurt us bad.
No, but this did. Pick 22, the L.A. Chargers select out of Penn State. Venga Ioane.
Yeah, I would think they'd love him.
Blake Miller, the tackle out of Clemson, goes 23rd to the Eagles. It feels like they would love to add on the offensive line if one of these guys is available.
He's not my favorite, so that doesn't break my heart.
Oh, man. So now this would have been the Browns pick, but it's the Saints pick from that trade that we discussed earlier, and they take K.C. Concepcion.
Wow.
Oh, man. All of our boys are coming off the board here.
Yeah, it's a risk here.
25, the Bears select Peter Woods, defensive tackle out of Clemson. And 26, right before the Steelers draft, the Bills select Omar Cooper Jr., national champion out of Indiana. Oh, Matt, I wouldn't like that.
We got hit pretty hard.
I might have some seller's remorse.
Yeah, I think we got hit pretty hard.
So, this would be interesting. We have a trade offer from the Chiefs, Matt, to move back 2 more picks and to get a 3rd rounder in next year's draft.
That's appealing. Now, I'm going to lean towards Max.
But do you think, moving back just 2 picks, it would be the Texans and the Chiefs picking in front of us?
From what I recall, the Chiefs took a right tackle.
The Chiefs took a tackle already in this exercise. So I don't know. That seems pretty
The Texans
safe
could
to me.
break our heart. But there's also like Boston, from what I remember.
Yes, Boston is still there. Your boy Max Ianachor is still there.
Did Lemon go?
Lemon did go, yes.
Okay.
He went to the Ravens at 14.
Yeah.
Brandon Cisse still there. D'Angelo Pons is still there. The other wide receiver from Indiana, Surratt, is still there. Chase Bistonis is still there. Pregnon is still there. I don't know. I would really consider this just because I feel like if we move back 2 spots here, Max is still going to be on the board.
All right, let's just give it a shot.
Let's do it one more time. We're only moving back 2 more spots, and we pick up the extra 3rd rounder for next year, which I would love to do.
Yeah, I want more stuff for next year.
Chiefs select Brandon Cisse.
Good.
Which would make sense.
Yeah,
After moving on from Trent McDuffie.
Right.
And it worked out for us, Matt. The Texans select C.J. Allen, linebacker out of Georgia.
Okay.
So we pick up an extra 3rd rounder to still have all the same options, basically, that we would have considered.
That's the best feeling ever.
Yes. I'd make that trade more than the initial one, although albeit the initial one.
We knew the initial one was riskier.
Yes.
If you're moving back that many spots.
But we added.
I thought Concepcion would be there for this pick.
I did too.
Yeah.
We added a day 2 pick for this year. We added a day 2 pick for next year.
And I think we had to throw in a 4th.
And we threw in a 4th to move back from 21 to 29. It's not bad.
I think we take Max here.
I think we do too.
Who wouldn't have been hard to convince me at 21.
Exactly right. And I would love him here in a situation like this where we
with
trade
all the
down
extra
and still
juice,
get him.
right?
I mean, we could talk about
Denzel
got these
extra
Boston.
picks too. I mean, I've taken another O lineman on day 2.
Could talk about Chris Bell here. Chris Brazel's still there. I mean, there's some names certainly, but I think
there's intriguing receivers for sure.
I think we take Max Ianachor here. Is that good with you?
Yeah, it's very good with me.
Let's do it. Everyone that hates us taking offensive linemen in this exercise is going to be disappointed, but at least we took a different one this time, Matt.
And it was a roundabout way of getting there.
Here's how the last of the first round ended up. The Dolphins select Kenyon Sadiq at pick 30. I think that would be smart for them.
It'd be so smart. I think they could take him at like 9 or 10 or whatever.
Getting one of the top 10 players most likely in the draft, and you build that nest up. Patriots select TJ Parker, edge rusher out of Clemson. Seattle selects Chris Bell, wide receiver out of Louisville.
Okay.
Let's take a break here.
Perfect.
We'll continue with this exercise, pick it up on the other side. Wes Uhler, Matt Williamson, Mock Draft Friday here on The Drive, Steelers Nation Radio on the Steelers Audio Network. Back on a Mock Draft Friday here on The Drive, and we are into round 2. If you missed it in our first segment, we made a couple trade backs to pick 29. We picked up an extra 3rd rounder for next year, which we really like. Picked up an extra day 2 pick this year as well. So we will have we'll have
5 more picks to make.
We'll have 2 second rounders now
And 3 thirds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got 5 more picks to make.
I love it.
This might go into the second hour, huh?
I think it will.
Yeah,
I think it will. So Max Ianachor was our pick at 29. Now into the second round.
Super quick, how'd the end of the first round end? Those last couple picks.
Sadiq, TJ Parker, and Chris Bell.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
I really like Chris Bell, by the way.
He's starting to gain on me a little bit too. The Titans now back on the clock to start round 2 from that trade with the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
They take Chris Johnson, corner out of San Diego State.
Okay.
We talked about him a little bit on Wednesday.
He's been here
for
a visit, but I don't think that would hurt him.
34, the Cardinals go the nosiest defensive tackle out of Ohio State, Caden McDonald.
Okay. That's about where he should go.
Titans with their own second round pick here at 35 overall. They go Emmanuel McNeil Warren out of Toledo, the safety. So, hey, for them, they trade back. They still get Jeremiah Love. They get Chris Johnson. They get Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I mean, that would be
other stuff. Yeah,
that'd be a useful day for the Titans. AJ Housley, safety out of LSU, goes 36 to the Raiders.
That's early, but he's a good player.
That is probably the earliest I've seen him. Also climbing up these exercises rapidly. The mustached man from Texas Tech, Jacob Rodriguez, goes 37th to the Giants. He seems like he's got some Harbaugh type qualities in him. Chase Bistonis, 38th to the Texans. The Saints back on the clock here. This part of that pick where the Browns moved up to get Jordan Tyson. The Saints take Tre'Dan Stukes, the corner out of Arizona. Chiefs take Antonio Williams, wide receiver from Clemson at pick
He's
40.
gaining a lot of steam, too.
He's gaining steam as well. Bengals go Christian Miller, defensive tackle out of Georgia. So, of course, not surprisingly, but both the Cincinnati's first 2 picks end up being on a defensive player. And then, Matt, at pick 42, the Cardinals trade up with the Saints to draft Ty Simpson, quarterback out of Alabama.
Yeah, I think he's going to go in the first round.
I'm leaning that way, too.
I think like Arizona or the Jets trade back into the first round.
If you're Arizona and you can get him at pick 42, I think that would be good business.
Yeah.
Chris Brazzell goes to the Dolphins at 43. They need help everywhere, but certainly at wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Denzel Boston goes to the Jets at 44.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Back-to-back wide receivers there off the board. Sam Hecht, the center from K-State, from Kansas State, goes to the Ravens here at 45.
Okay. That obviously would fill a need.
Yep. That's certainly a big absence left by Tyler Linderbaum. 46, Colton Hood, the corner from Tennessee, goes to the Bucks. 47, oh man, I would have liked this guy to be on the board for us in a few more picks. Jeremy Bernard, wide receiver from Roll Tide,
a couple of
Alabama.
these receivers falling off the board are not making me super happy.
Same. I love picking up that extra pick, but man, I wouldn't have hated to be in this range either.
I don't envy your spot
27.
because you got to kind of monitor this stuff, but in the real world, if we would have made those trades, maybe I would have moved up to 42 for a receiver.
Yes,
You got a lot of ammo.
Totally. I almost brought that up when we started this segment too. 48, Keith Abney II, corner from Arizona State, goes to the Falcons.
Okay.
49th pick, the Texans trade up here with the Minnesota Vikings to draft Lee Hunter, another nosy-ish defensive
Doesn't break
tackle
my heart, but yeah,
from Texas Tech. Demetrius Crownover, the tackle from A&M, goes to the Lions here at 50, so they go 2 offensive linemen with their first 2 picks. 51, the undersized but just junkyard dog, bulldog, tough as nails, D'Angelo Pons goes to the Carolina Panthers. Last pick before the Steelers, the Chargers trade up a few spots to draft Zion Young, the edge rusher out of Missouri. That would certainly not break our hearts.
No, that's good.
So, Matt, here's who's still left. Emmanuel Pregnon, the guard out of Oregon. There's a couple edge rushers left, but I don't think I need to rattle those guys' names off.
You don't need to know.
Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker out of Texas. Genesis Smith, safety out of Arizona. Caleb Banks is still on the board. Skylar Bell is still on the board. Ted Hurst is still on the board. Those are the bigger names.
I really like Hurst. I think you'd have to consider Caleb Banks here, but I don't think you can ignore receiver till the 3rd round.
I agree.
I'm leaning towards 2 of the picks remaining should be receivers. Yeah, especially if you're going to take a small school guy like Hurst.
I would have loved one of those last couple wide receivers, Jeremy Bernard or Denzel Boston or one of those guys to stay on the board till here, but I think I'm with you. I got to get a wide receiver here. I'm not trading. We got a couple trade offers, but I'm not trading down again.
Enough of that, yeah.
Can
you sort it just by receivers?
Yeah.
I have a feeling Hurst would be my favorite, but I can't remember if you said Surratt's name or not.
Surratt is still there.
Okay.
Skylar Bell, Ted Hurst, Zachariah
Branch. We must
Branch.
pick again pretty soon, right?
Elijah Surratt. Say that again?
Do we pick again pretty soon?
We pick again, yes, in 5 picks. 5 picks, yes. So Surratt's still there. Branch is still there. Bryce Lance is still there. Ted Hurst is still there. Skylar Bell's still there. Malachi Field's still there. I think it's Hurst or Surratt here.
Me too.
Who's
your favorite? I might even take the other one in 5 picks.
I might too.
You know what I mean?
I really might.
Because they're very different.
I think there's a higher ceiling with Ted Hurst.
I agree.
I think there's a higher floor with Elijah Surratt.
Yeah. Who do you want to play now? The thing is, though, you mentioned a lot of receiver names that wouldn't break my heart to go back-to-back here.
Who fits the Mike McCarthy and pairing with Pittman and DK mold better, Surratt or Ted Hurst?
I think Surratt's a little redundant to Pittman. Not necessarily in a bad way, in that he can do a lot of stuff where I think a little speed wouldn't break my heart.
Do we also, though, consider Omar Khan's history, 3 straight years of drafting somebody from the national championship team? You want to go Ted Hurst? Let's go Ted Hurst.
Yeah, I'm falling in love with him a little bit.
Maybe we'll get Surratt here in just a few more picks.
Yeah, and I might even consider that if he doesn't go in these next couple. And then it's being done at receiver and have a pretty good group.
53, we take Ted Hurst, wide receiver out of Georgia State. 54, the Eagles take Malachi Lawrence, edge rusher out of UCF. 55, the Packers take Gabe Lucas, edge rusher out of Illinois. Boy, this is ending up well. I like where this is going. 56, the Jags take Emmanuel Pregnon, guard out of Oregon. And
it's a nice pick for them.
And 57, I would have considered this guy if he wasn't off the board, along with another wide receiver, Anthony Hill Jr., the linebacker from the Texans.
Intriguing.
Goes. Matt, I think
you take Surratt here.
I would think about Caleb Banks, but I think I'm going Surratt.
I'm super intrigued by Caleb Banks, but I'm just trying to think about next year's first-round pick for quarterback.
Man.
Right. Put these people in place.
So this is the pick we received from the Cowboys when we traded down in one of our trades there that we made at pick 58. I love it, Matt. I was really worried about how this wide receiver.
I thought we were going to be really reaching.
Same. I love this. If you're telling me right now you could trade down, you can get Maxey and Achor, you could get Ted Hurst, you could get Elijah Surratt.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd go Fish. I think I'd take that.
I think I'd take that too, especially with the future third.
And
in the mix.
You get a third-round pick for
even
the
if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl
draft.
next year, it's still a late third.
Still a top 100 pick. Elijah Surratt. Oh, man, I love it. I love how that all played out. So we are through 2 rounds here, and we're due for a break. But Will Lee.
We're in good shape, though.
We are in great. I love how this played out. I was really concerned. I love it now. Will Lee, corner from A&M, goes to the Vikings at 59. Genesis Smith off the board at 60 to the Bears. Keontae Scott, 61 to the Rams. Caleb Tiernan, the tackle from Northwestern, to the Broncos at 62. Another wide receiver, Jacoby Lane from USC, goes to the Patriots here. And Mike Washington Jr., running back from Arkansas, goes to Seattle. They need running back help
absolutely.
To close down the second round. We will close down this exercise, do the third round to kick off hour number 2 when we return. Don't you dare go anywhere halfway home on a Friday. Uhler and Williamson, it's The Drive on Steelers Nation Radio. Good evening, Steeler Nation. How we doing? Well, that's good. Us too. Hour number 2 of The Drive here on your 24/7 home of the black and gold. Uhler and Williamson rolling through our weekly mock draft before we get to your tweets to get up out of here. Hour number 2. It will be our last hour for almost a week from studio proper, as we'll be jetting off to Phoenix, Arizona for the league meetings. We'll have a bonus Sunday show for you. Never miss a Sunday show, Matt. And the first half of the week, we'll be doing our shows from Arizona, bonus hour 2, 3-hour shows. Hopefully we'll have some fun guests. The owners' meetings, moving and shaking, all of that.
Yeah.
Who knows? We were even joking with TV. Maybe we'll get some Aaron Rodgers news that'll blow our doors off and be great for the content.
I bet his name comes up.
I would be shocked if it didn't.
Yeah.
Especially considering it'll be Mike McCarthy's first foray of doing this as the Steelers head coach. So, Matt, we have 3 third-round picks here to close down this exercise. And,
So we're kind of talking off the air, too. Like, we got to be done at receiver.
Yes.
And we hit 2.
And I know that most of you listen to the podcast through and all that, but for some of those who might have missed, or if you're listening on the live stream.
Yeah, maybe started the new hour or whatever. Right?
We made a couple trades. We traded down to pick 29, got Maxey and Achor, the offensive lineman out of Arizona State. With that, we got an extra second-round pick, so we picked at 53 and 58 in the second round, which I love. We also got an extra third-round pick for 2027, which doesn't affect this exercise, but gives us extra capital and hopefully the pursuit of a quarterback next year. So at 53 and 58, we doubled up on wide receivers, Ted Hurst and Elijah Surratt. And I would sign up for this right now, and we still have our 3 third-round picks to make here as well.
Yeah, and I wanted to get to that. I mean, okay, I wouldn't mind a pure guard. You know me. I'm always going to be like, throw me an extra lineman in the mix.
I'll get greedy there.
At some point, the folks there are going to draft a tight end. I can't imagine it being the 3rd round.
Agreed.
I think at some point they still probably draft a running back. Not in the 3rd round.
Day 3.
Yeah. I lean towards not drafting a quarterback at all.
Same. I'm going more and more that direction, unless it's the 6th round.
But yeah.
Nuss is still there or something.
Yeah. The end of the draft, different story than at least our conversation. I would think a safety probably should be amongst the top priorities at this point.
I would agree.
Maybe over the course of the rest of the draft, you draft 2 defensive backs, a safety and a nickel or an outside corner that's a project. I got no problem with a linebacker.
Got no problem with a linebacker.
I got no
The right
problem
guy
with
falls
a
to you.
D lineman either.
Same.
But all of a sudden, none of those are, safety's one I think you have to take. It doesn't have to be this pick or anything of that nature, but
That's the only one that I would say of these 3 picks, we better come away with a safe.
I would think so too. I would think one of these 3 picks should be a safety. Now, I know we're not going to do this because we're going to perpetuate trades with the whole league. But if you could give me a next year's second for any of these picks right now from any team, I would do that
Sold.
too, even with the next year's third that we picked up.
Sold.
Think about it. Hypothetical. You're going to have your first.
Which is funny. Baltimore's offering us their 3rd-round pick from next year for this pick right now, which
I'm
I
not
would
doing a
probably
third.
do.
I'm not doing a third for a third.
I
With a
might
good
if it's
team?
for next year.
Well, yeah, but
we're not trading with division,
We're not
so
doing a trade,
it's
but-
invalid.
So, I know that it's not going to work out this way, but if we ended up with the players we have, 2 thirds next year, Chiefs and Steelers, 2 seconds, Steelers and whoever offers us one for this next pick, we still get 2 more picks this day. Oh, by the way, you might trade Mike Tomlin for a first-round pick,
Still on the card, still on the table.
and you could enter one of what people think are one of the best drafts in the league with 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, or something along those lines. That's not that
I'd
crazy.
Sign up for that right now, too.
Yeah,
Matt
right.
Williamson. So round 3 underway here. The Saints leading off. This was from the Cardinals pick that was that they used to trade up for Ty Simpson. They take Jake Galladay, linebacker out of Cincinnati. Titans take Cassius Howell, 66 overall, edge from A&M. Skylar Bell goes off the board, 67 to the Raiders. I think maybe just 2nd or 3rd tight end that's gone off the board here. Justin Jolly from NC State goes to the Eagles. Jadarian Price, the other Notre Dame running back, goes off the board to the Texans. Browns on the clock at pick 70 take Parker Brailsford, the center from Bama. Roll Tide roll. And, as I like to joke, the Commanders, wouldn't this be fitting if our former president, R. Mason Thomas, ended up in the nation's capital, as he does here at pick 71? As Matt always says, it's just R. It doesn't stand for anything. His first name is just R.
It's R.
And doesn't that sound like the most George Washington thing you've ever, arrow thing you've ever heard? Abraham Lincoln, Taft, some of these other old-time presidents. 72, the the Ravens on the clock, they trade up here to draft Jennings Dunker, the guard out of Iowa. The Ravens do.
Okay. He would have been of interest.
He would have been. 72, the Saints back on the clock. They take another, there's another center goes off the board here, Connor Lew out of Auburn.
Good. Centers can go all day long.
Just 2 picks away. This would have been interesting if he would have lasted to 76. Emmett Johnson, the running back from Nebraska, goes to the Chiefs
Had a good year.
at 74.
Yeah.
And then another guy we might have been interested in, Kalen Rutledge, the guard from Georgia Tech.
He was kind of the one I was kind of hoping for. Good athlete. I think he would fit.
Goes 75th to the Dolphins right before we're on the clock, man.
Okay.
So, highest ranked on the big board, still available. Caleb Banks is still available.
I was about to throw that out.
This might be the
I think
spot.
he's got to do it.
I think so, too, because the safeties, Kamari Ramsey, Lewis Moore.
There's some questions about Banks. He's a bad tackler. He's got a broken foot. There's some effort things that aren't always great. But at this price for what he brings to the table and say, hey, Cam, here's your project. Whip this guy into shape with the other young pups.
And it'd be different, I think, if there
And
was
you don't
somebody
need
else
that much
that
of
we,
them.
I think it'd be different if there was somebody else that we loved here, too. But,
Right.
And you're back on the clock
This
at 9
is like,
picks.
yeah, this is like your bonus prize for trading down.
Exactly
I get to
right.
roll the dice on
Let's do it.
the most talented defensive tackle in the
my
draft.
God. He
right.
might end up being the best defensive lineman out of this draft.
Yeah, he absolutely could.
And you get him with your 4th pick.
Yeah.
It's 76
And he
overall.
doesn't, Harmon and Benton and all these guys are going to be ahead of him on the depth chart. He's going to have to earn his way to get playing time.
I love it. Let's take Caleb
great.
Banks. That'll make Max Starks go
Oh,
Gators.
yeah.
Gator chomp. Gator chomp. I would assume we'll get Max to come on with us at some point. And
I'm sure.
we got to talk to him about Caleb Banks for sure.
Yeah, I want to ask him about Max from Arizona State, too.
Yeah.
Neck of the woods.
That's absolutely right. So let's lock it in. Pick 76. After going with 3 straight offensive picks, we go to the defensive side of the ball. And we
That
take
was an easy one.
An easy one at this point, at this juncture. At pick 77, the Bucks take Josiah Trotter, linebacker. That would mean, Matt, two picks in the top 77 of former defensive Mountaineers who left for greener pastures. Can't say I blame them. But man, it would be nice to. It would have been nice to still have them in the old gold and blue. Danny Dennis Sutton, the edge rusher from Penn State, goes to the Bears. Back-to-back Nittany Lions drafted here. Drew Shelton, the Penn State tackle, goes 79 to Atlanta. Packers on the clock. They take Julian Neal, the corner out of Arkansas. And at pick 81, Big Citrus, Dominique Orange, goes to the. Well, it would kind of be fitting for Big Citrus to end up in Florida. Jacksonville there at pick 81. Joshua Josephs, edge rusher from Tennessee, goes to the Vikings at 72. Oh, man, I was hoping he would last. Kamari Ramsey, the safety from USC, goes at 83.
He was someone who was crossing my mind, too.
To the Panthers. And the Bengals make a trade here to pick 84 to take Deontay Lawson, linebacker from Alabama.
Okay.
So, Matt, here's what we're working with still on the big board. I mean, Grayson Houghton, I don't think we're double dipping on defensive tackles.
I don't think it'd even have a roster spot for him.
I mean, there's still a lot of big name tight ends available. Eli Stowers is still there. Michael Trigg is still there. Oscar Delp is still there.
Delp's really exciting. All those names are enticing, but I just think it's a little early for considering
I do too.
Need.
You want to talk safeties here?
Safeties, linebackers, guards.
Okay.
To me, seem like the spots of most need.
Safeties. Lewis Moore out of Indiana.
Lewis Moore is unbelievably interesting. He's really, really good, but I think he's 26 or 25. Like, he's unusually old.
Okay.
But he's.
Oh, yeah, he started college in 2019. Holy cow, that was before COVID.
I mean, he was an integral part for them, but I don't know if you want to take your third safety, developmental safety, to be that old for this team.
That's pretty old.
But he was really good for the national title team.
Jalen Kilgore still there. Bud Clark's still there. Zakee Wheatley's still there.
I like all three of those names.
I do too.
That'd be fine.
Do you have a preference out of those four?
Probably Clark.
He's got some speed.
Yeah, I would say Clark, but okay, that's something to think. We must be picking again really soon, though.
We are picking again in 14 picks.
Oh, okay. It's a little longer.
So this is pick 85. We're back on the clock at pick 99.
99. All right.
So that's the safeties. Linebackers still available. Aiden Fisher out of Indiana. Harold Perkins, who we've discussed out of LSU. Matt, Kyle Lewis is still on the board here as well.
Okay. I don't think he's a real linebacker, though. If you're looking for, like, Queen's replacement.
Here's the only thing.
Yeah.
If we hadn't taken Caleb Banks a few picks ago, I might say let's take Kyle Lewis here and roll the dice.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want two guys with... Now, to be fair to Lewis, it's not injury and stuff like that, but it's just where does he fit?
What do we do with him? Right. You got to get your hands on him and see what you can do with him, right?
But there's still question marks there.
Yeah,
Just different ones, but same church, different pew of Caleb Banks. I don't know if you can go back-to-back
projects. Yeah.
Yes. Although, man, I know you don't hear this from a Mountaineer very often, but I'm very intrigued by Kyle Lewis's
Yeah, he's
game.
got some stuff about him, right?
And then what was the other one you said? Guard,
I'd
right?
be
You wanted me to
interested in a pure guard,
run
too.
through. Let's see.
Although I think Max would start his career there.
Yeah. But you could still, at this point, you could still add. This guy's name is maybe the toughest to pronounce in the draft. The guard out of Oklahoma, Fabechi Wewu, I believe is how he pronounces his last name. Cage Casey from Boise State. Bo Stevens from Iowa. Jaden Roberts from Roll Tide Roll. Jalen Farmer from the university where Matt writes a bunch of tuition checks in Kentucky. Inez Cooper, guard from Miami. Fernando Carmona Jr. out of Arkansas.
Okay. Nobody's really blowing my skirt up. I like the safeties better.
I like the safeties as well. I'm thinking Bud Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think you do it.
Should we lock it in?
Yeah.
Let's do it. I like that. Let's take Bud Clark. Let's take a true safety, as much as I would be very tempted to take Kyle Lewis there. I am not going to lie. But let's see how this all shakes out. Okay, so at 85, we lock in Bud Clark. We get our safety out of TCU. Oscar Delp, tight end from...
He went nuts at their pro day.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Freak athletic.
He just hasn't hardly caught any balls in football games.
Tight end out of Georgia goes 86 to the Chargers. Lewis Moore, the safety from Indiana, goes just 2 picks later to the Bengals, so we'd be seeing him in division. Bryce Lance, Trey Lance's younger brother, wide receiver out of North Dakota State, goes to the Jags. Hezekiah Massis, corner from Cal, goes to the Bears. By the way, the amount of "Duh Pope" T-shirts that I saw walking around Wrigleyville, that's the joke they make in Chicago now.
Yeah.
So many people with "Duh Pope" T-shirts on. Tristan Lee, pick 90, the tackle out of Clemson, goes to the Dolphins. Katron Allen, one of the Penn State running backs we discussed with Jack Ham, goes 91st to the Bills. Damon Claiborne, the running back from Wake Forest, goes to the Cowboys.
He's exciting. He's a big play threat, man.
And you know what? It's funny. Yes. And he's flying under the radar. I don't know if it's just because he went to Wake or whatever, but he's a home run hitter.
He'd be different than what the Steelers have in the backfield.
Yes.
You're looking for explosives. He definitely generates that.
Cowboys with back-to-back picks here due to one of those trades. They go Darrell Jackson Jr., the defensive tackle out of Florida State, who we talked about on Wednesday.
Doesn't hurt us after taking Banks.
Another defensive tackle, Grayson Houghton, goes to the Ravens at 94. I would have loved this guy to be on the board. Eli Stowers, the tight end from Vandy, goes at 95 to the Patriots. Davison Igbinosun, corner out of Ohio State, to the Seahawks. Jonah Coleman, running back from Washington, 97 to the Vikes. And Zachariah Branch at pick 98 across the Commonwealth to the Philadelphia Eagles.
It's late for Branch, not that we were really in that market, but
yes. Yeah. So on the clock with pick 99, this is going to be our last one of this exercise. A reminder, we have taken Maxey and Nate Shore. We traded back a couple times, picked up a lot of extra capital, still got Mad Max at 29. Then at 53 and 58, with our extra second-round pick, we double up on wide receivers. We're eating greedy over here, Matt Williamson. Ted Hurst from Georgia State and Elijah Surratt from Indiana. Then we go Caleb Banks.
Real quick on those receivers, Surratt is really far advanced in terms of, like, technical route running, the intricacies of the position, just played for a national title. The other guy is more talented, but he comes from a super small school. You think his adjustment, his learning curves would be a lot greater. So I really like the combination of those two. I mean, not only do I like the players in a bubble, but the matching of the two I think fits pretty well too.
I love it. And then at pick 76, he's still on the board. We take a swing on Caleb Banks, the talented but question-marked defensive tackle out of Florida. And then at 85, Bud Clark, we get our safety out of TCU. Pick 99, back on the clock. And, Matt, we've got some options, man. Malik Muhammad, the corner from Texas, is still there.
Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, you never turn your nose up at a corner.
Never turn your nose up at a value position with somebody who might, be surprised that he's still there.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Also, Max Clare and Michael Trigg, two talented tight ends, are both still on the board.
Okay.
Any other position you want to see? Running back?
I'm just curious who best available is.
Okay, best available in general. Malik Muhammad, Max Clare,
okay.
Takario Davis, the corner out of Washington.
He was in for a visit. He's a project, long, fast.
Jalen Kilgore, although we just took a safety, and I don't think we double up. Brian Parker the second, the center from Duke. We're not going center. Michael Trigg, who I think is just a freak.
Yeah.
Brennan Thompson, wide receiver from Mississippi State. Isaiah World, tackle from Oregon. Austin Barber, tackle from Florida. That looks like it's it for the kind of the big names, if you will. Zakee Wheatley's still there. Kyle Lewis is still there. Malachi Fields is still there. Seth McGowan, the running back from Kentucky, still there. Kalen Black, the running back from Bama, still there. The other Penn State guy, Nicholas Singleton, running back, still there. So
anybody jumping out at you?
We've got some options here. Oh, I might consider Kyle Lewis here.
I say linebacker doesn't break my heart. I don't know if he's a linebacker or not.
I would probably lean there or one of the tight ends at this point, because I think getting Max Clare or Michael Trigg here would be pretty good value.
I think I like the tight ends better as prospects.
Same.
It's not really much of a need, but, I mean, they're good players.
They're good players.
Yeah. I also think both those guys, coincidentally, their best football's ahead of them. Like Claire,
agree.
As always happens at Ohio State, gets overshadowed by the receivers. Triggs has got a ton of ability. Claire actually was mostly a baseball player for a lot of his life and kind of new to it as well. I like both those guys.
I do too.
Your pick. I know Triggs one of your guys.
He is, but I've been warming up to Claire.
Yeah.
I really have. And there's less off-the-field question marks with Max Clare
well, there definitely is
Michael Trigg. I think and this is, like we just had this conversation with wide receivers with Hurst and Surratt. I think Claire has the higher floor, Trigg has the higher ceiling.
Probably. But Claire's not bad in terms of ceiling.
No, definitely not. In terms of what you already have in the room, too, I think I'd be comfortable going with Max Clare because I think you'll find a way to use him.
I'm absolutely fine with it.
I think you'll find a way to use him and get him on the field.
So I don't know how this would even fit in because I think Washington will get a long-term extension, and I really hope he does. I don't want him to go anywhere in a long time. And they are going to play less 2 and 3 tight end sets. But could Freiermuth be trade bait in a year or in the offseason?
If Washington has a great year.
And Claire's super impressive or whatever. I don't know. Just when you have this many picks, it's just draft good football players.
Draft good football players.
Yeah,
and right now, I think the two best available, unless we go Malik Muhammad, would be the 2 tight ends.
Yeah.
We've gone so far 3 offensive players, 2 defensive players.
That's fine. I think it'll be a little bit heavier offensive draft at the top.
I think so too. I wouldn't hate. I'm good with taking Max Clare here if that works with you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Let's lock it in. So there is our haul for this Friday edition of the weekly mock draft. We make a couple trades. We pick up an extra 2nd rounder this year. We pick up an extra 3rd rounder next year.
Yeah.
We come away with Maxie and H. Orr, Ted Hurst, Elijah Surratt, Caleb Banks, Bud Clark, and Max Clare.
And don't forget, folks, I don't know if we mentioned these exact words enough, but the Steelers have the most picks in this entire draft of any team.
Mm-hmm.
So you would leave with this haul on Friday night, return to your abode. You got 2 4s and other stuff too. Like after a while, it gets hard to put these guys, find spots for them all.
Yes, it does. And
which is a wonderful problem to have.
That's very good problem to have. Certainly is. Let's take our first break of hour number 2 here. You all know the drill. We're going to hit the tweets on the bottom half of the hour here before we get up out of here for the weekend and head to Phoenix, Arizona for the owners' meetings tomorrow. We'll cross some T's, dot some I's, get to your questions, comments, concerns, and reactions. Uhler and Williamson, Steelers Nation Radio on the Steelers Audio Network. Two more segments to go in this week. We will have the bonus show for you on Sunday, of course. Folks, you know what that means. We are just going to roll through these tweets here, Matt.
All right.
And these
I'm sure we got a bunch.
We sure do. Too much to handle here. Matt is going to lead us off on the tweets and says, if you were to create a quarterback in a lab, what would be your ideal traits? Quick processor, someone who can make all the throws, someone who can scramble for the first down when you need, high bar of athleticism, right body type. What are your thoughts? I mean, all those things if you're going perfectly ideal. But
yeah, and you're building them in a lab. I mean, if you're
building them in a lab, he's going to be perfect, right?
If you're weird science in it, I mean, I forget what podcast I was listening to about previewing just this quarterback class, and they kind of had this conversation, and I liked one of the hosts' answers. They said, do everything fast and kind of quick, but don't hurry. You know what I mean? Like quick processor, I mean, the game just happens so fast that I think that, like, that's my problem with Drew Aller. Everything's slow and deliberate.
Okay.
Like people be like, well, Brady didn't do anything fast. Yeah, he did. I mean, everything pre-snap was fast. Everything post-snap was fast. Even though he wasn't a great runner, watch him move in the pocket. All his movements are sudden and fast and quick and abrupt. That might be number one. Something I talk about a lot, and everyone's always like, well, this guy's a gym rat, first one in the building, last one to leave, hardest working guy on the Florida Gators or Florida State or whatever. And to me, that only gets you in the door.
Yes.
Like, okay, now you can be considered.
Yes.
Because this position's so hard. If you don't have that,
good luck.
You're not going to make it. I mean, that just lets you sit at the poker table. That's the ante. That's all you.
That's your buy-in.
That's your buy-in. You're allowed to play with everybody now and at least be in the conversation. So that almost, to me, goes without saying.
That is always one of the biggest red flags to me is when someone's like, what do you like about this guy? He's such a hard worker. Nobody's as prepared as he is.
Like, well, the guys he's going to play against on Sunday are just as prepared, if not more.
Exactly right. They don't have to go to class and do all these other things. They're professional football players.
And then they go home and study tape, and then they spend $1 million on their body and coaches and everything else.
Nutritionists and personal trainers and quarterback coaches. And
Now, I will say that position's probably the hardest to answer of all because you need all of them. Yeah, you could be short on one or two, or lackluster on one or two, but to rank them all is pretty tough. But I like the answer I heard recently about do everything fast. Think fast, act fast, move
Decide
fast.
fast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fast release.
I like it. I want to go fast. I want to go fast. I want to go fast. Ricky Bobby. Joe tweets and says
That is one thing Ty Simpson does well.
Yeah.
He's a quick processor, reliever,
Hey, his dad
bursty guy.
His dad was a 1AA head coach for 20 years.
Right.
I mean, you'd think he has a high football IQ. And that makes a lot of sense.
And his movements are sudden. Ball comes out pretty quick. He does do things fast.
Joe tweets us and says, feels to me like the only other viable choice besides Aaron Rodgers is Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a name that isn't ever really discussed, though.
Oh.
What do you guys think?
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, if it's not Aaron Rodgers, I don't want Kirk Cousins, Jimmy G.
I was going to say the opposite. I mean, I think you settle.
You'd rather have Cousins.
Or Carr.
And
Jimmy
so again,
G to me is just a back. He's just
this to me,
a tier below all
this
those other guys.
This to me is how I feel versus The Godfather.
Yeah,
Learn to think as those around you think. If it's not going to be Aaron Rodgers, I would rather eat my vegetables for a year. And I know that that's not how the Steelers operate, and that's not how the Steelers do business. So it probably would be a Kirk Cousins or a Derek Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
But Aaron Rodgers is the only one from that crop that I look at and go, okay, you could win the division again, and with a better roster, maybe you win a playoff game. With those other guys, I don't see it.
I hear what you're saying, and people are just like, put Will Howard in. He might be awesome. I haven't even seen them play a professional.
No, I would start the season with Mason Rudolph probably, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
And there is an argument for that approach. If Rodgers like, I'm retired, I'm done, And what does Cousins or Carr get you? Not much.
9 wins?
Not much. I mean, more of the same probably. I'm not sure Rodgers is a whole lot different than that at this point, but at least there's bouts of being MVPs and things of that nature in his past. Now, if you were to take that approach, I probably then would be like, what if you trade for Anthony Richardson? Yeah, I mean, one of those like reclamation projects. I'm not big on Will Levis, but somebody like that too.
We got a tweet from somebody asking us about Will Levis
really?
too. Who was it? It was Chef Plum asked us about Will Levis if we'd have any interest in getting him on a cheapo deal.
Not really. I mean,
those ones, Anthony Richardson would be the one that I would.
Yeah, I mean, he was 4th pick of the draft, and I mean, there's ability there.
There's some undeniable traits.
Yeah. I would at least want to take one of those bites. As for Levis, it's too early to say he stinks. Forget about him. I mean, he was the second pick in the draft, or the second pick in the second round, right after Joey Porter Jr. He looked really bad since he was here, but he's also sort of the Drew Aller poster boy of doesn't do anything fast. I mean, he's a lumberer. He's not a bad athlete, but nothing's quick twitch about him.
Yes.
He doesn't think quick.
He's got a good arm, but not a great arm.
Yeah. And he might go somewhere and totally might reclaim his career. I'm not writing that off, but it would have to be the right guy for the Steelers to approach that stuff because there's not much room. And wouldn't you rather just draft Nuss in the 3rd round than do that?
Yes, I
right.
would, yes.
If you're going to do that.
One of our regulars, Smooth Dave, says, can you take me to the school of Matt Williamson? I understand the lines are blurred in the modern NFL, but can you give me a quick primer, explain the differences between slot corner, nickel corner, star position, box safety, dime linebacker?
Well, I think basically slot corner and nickel corner are the same
thing.
Unless you just want to say the 5th guy off the bench is the nickel because it's now 5.
It's the Brandon Eccles role. It's the Mike Hilton role. It's the Beanie Bishop role. I'm trying to think of all the guys that have played that recently. What we think Jalen Ramsey is going to do this year.
I mean, technically the nickel is just the 5th guy in.
That's where you get the term nickel from.
Yeah. I mean, he could be little, he could be big, whatever. And usually that's going to be a slot because there's not really a slot that exists anyway. What were the other ones?
Star position, box safety, dime linebacker.
They're all pretty darn close. I mean, a lot of it just comes down to what the teams call you. Star is also 5. Star.
Yep.
5 points of a star.
Yep. Some call it spear, don't they too?
Maybe. Especially
bandit or something like that.
Especially if you start to get into college terminology too.
And
you'll
it's
find
like
weird
XYZ
stuff.
with wide receiver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just different ways of labeling things.
Like Ramsey, when he was a Ram, was their star. It's what they called him. He played a lot. It's not much different, though, than a big nickel or what he's doing here. It's near the line of scrimmage. Strong safety's a little different. That's old school. Donnie Shell's the strong. Mike Wagner's the free.
Ryan Clark and Troy Polamalu.
Yeah.
They even had a little more with Troy's
Earl
skill set,
Thomas is the free. Cam Chancellor's the strong.
That's a great example.
Like a lot different than the other type of safety. But dime linebacker is also, I have 6 defensive backs on the field. I probably have 4 defensive linemen. That leaves 1 guy. And that's your dime linebacker. So for the Steelers, that's Queen. He never leaves the field. I mean, that just means he's on the dime package. Now, someone might look at like Kyle Lewis and be like, he's an ideal dime because it's 3rd and 12.
And he can run downfield with a tight end.
Get a lot. He has linebacker
receiver.
experience. Yeah. He's seen the game from a linebacker's perspective. He's seen guards double team people in front of him, blah, blah, blah. But if he gives up, something in the run game, it's still 3rd and 12. We'll gang tackle and get there, So the reality is there's a lot of overlap in all those terms.
Yes. And it's all just what language your defensive coordinator wants to speak.
A lot of it, yeah.
It's like yes means the same as see. It's just a different way to say it in a different language.
Yeah.
See, that's yes in Spanish for those of you unfamiliar. Lou tweets us and says, love the show, boys. Well, thank you, Lou. The question I have is, why does Penn State count as a local visit when it is way out of the 50-mile radius? Hashtag H2P.
I think it's only if you're from here.
I'm just glad that he didn't say WVU. He pointed out Penn State in that regard.
I don't think every Penn Stater's free.
Again,
or they would have them all here. I think it's where you grew up. If you grew up in nearby and happened to go to Penn State,
like Joey Porter Jr.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. I think a local visit is either your college is in the radius or your home is in the radius.
But then WVU's outside of that 50-mile radius, not by much, and maybe there's an exception. But like Zach Frazier counted as a local visit, I'm pretty sure.
I think,
and that's like 70 miles.
Yeah,
60-some miles. It's just outside of that 50-mile radius.
You know that he was a local? I'm almost positive he was too. I think they're kind of flexible with the rules.
I think there's a little. Okay, it's 50 miles, but if the guy's 62, we'll count it.
Yeah. I don't know how strict they are. Like, I don't know if they put a fence up, that you had to be born in this area or from this area.
Let's see here.
But just because you went to Penn State, I know that doesn't count. Or they'd have them all here. I mean, Penn State has so many of them. Why wouldn't you have 10 or 15 guys every year?
So Zach Frazier was believed to fall under the local visit category.
Mm-hmm. And some of this information is not always 100% easy to find.
He did top 30 visits with the Bears, the Lions, the Bengals, the Cowboys, the Bucks, the Chargers, and the Dolphins.
It's a lot of moving around.
Maybe this is something we can. I know it might not be high on the priority. That is a lot of moving around. I know it might not be high on the priority list, but maybe this is something we can try and find a more dedicated answer to next week when we're around some more of the.
I'm not sure everybody knows the answer either.
Yeah,
but I just know that just because you went to Penn State doesn't mean you count.
Okay.
Because then they'd have everyone.
I mean, that's a good point.
Right.
Bring them all in. Why not?
You're right. If they're all free, I'd bring in every Penn State draftable player every year, and they don't.
And all of them, yeah, that's true. But then wouldn't you do the same thing for Pitt? And I don't think they necessarily do.
I think they do.
Do they?
And they may not even be official.
It might not even be reported. Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Let's get to
and they have fewer of them.
I'm just glad Lou left WVU out of the fight. I'm just glad.
Yeah.
You keep the Keystone rivalry.
But I mean, if you went to Duquesne,
it
counts.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, there are all the small schools. They just don't have many guys. Right.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's something I would like to know the exact parameters on, but maybe there's not exact parameters.
I think
maybe it's kind of loosely enforced based off.
I kind of feel like it is.
Interesting. Let's take our last break of the day. We will close with more of your tweets. Final segment of the week here. Final segment from the studio proper for a little while as we are taking off to the owners' meetings tomorrow. We'll have a bonus Sunday show for you and a lot of great content from Arizona next week. But we are going to run through as many of these tweets as we can in the next 11 minutes-ish until we get out of here today.
All righty.
Let's see here. Another one of our regulars, T-Mac, tweets and says, a lot of talk about Venga and a little bit about Pregnon, but can you offer some other names that you like at the guard position outside of those two?
We talked about this a lot in the mock.
DeSantis is really, I really like him out of A&M. I really like Rutledge out of Georgia Tech.
That's one of my absolute favorites.
Yep. Farmer out of Kentucky, I think, deserves to be in that conversation. I think those are probably the biggest names, I would say.
I'm sure there's a couple tackles,
and
turn
then I was
guard,
just going to say
right.
the guys, the Fanus, the Maxie and Achors that you might see doing a little, the Caden Proctors.
Now, those guys are expensive, though.
Yes, they are.
See, the problem is, and this happens every year at this position, and there's just not as many names. If you tell me tight ends you'd be happy drafting, well, here's 15 names, especially this year. At this position, there's just not as many, and that's why another one of the many reasons why I think round one I would break all ties for O-line. It's just a shortage situation. It's supply and demand.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Frankie tweets us and says, when do you know you found your franchise quarterback? Is it a fourth quarter comeback? Is it when he makes a certain number of starts? Is it when he hits a certain stat line? When do you know? That's a good question.
That's a great question, but it's a hard one to answer.
It's kind of like falling in love, Matt Williamson.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, when you know, you know.
When you know, you know.
Right. I was going to say the same thing, but then you beat me to it. But then I thought, well, Houston thought they knew with Stroud.
Great point.
You know what I mean? Then all of a sudden it's like, well, we got to pay him now.
That's a great point. And if Drake May stumbles out of the gate next year, they might be saying the same thing in New England.
Like, I don't think Washington's worried about Jaden Daniels, nor should they be, but one bad year and all of a sudden you don't know.
So you know what I think?
It's definitely not like one comeback.
No.
That raises an eyebrow. Ooh.
This made me think of I know I've told you this before, the Moatsism. Like Arthur Moats would always say, you never crown a guy off of 1 year.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of guys in this league that can have you can have a great couple games, you can have a great year, but the truly great ones do it year after year after year. And then everybody figures out everyone figures out what they do well, and they adapt and evolve their game, and they start doing other things better to make them harder to defend or prepare for, or all that. I think that is the easiest answer, is when they start stacking successful years.
So, like, two examples came to mind while you were chatting. Like, Mahomes, they trade up for him. They loved him on draft day. But he didn't play a football game until week 18 when they rested Alex Smith.
Very last game of the regular season, yeah.
But all indications were, as he was, like, just watching him in practice, being around him every day, they were real comfortable trading Alex Smith after the year because they thought they knew. You know, even though he really didn't do anything. He played a meaningless game. But I think they were around him enough to be like, we loved him at Texas Tech. I think I love him more being around him now. And then the other example I wanted to use, but I wish like Dale or Pursuiter was sitting here because I was not close to the Steelers' Ben's rookie year. But I bet
you were working for the Brands.
Yeah, and even then I was ESPN his early years. I wasn't at training camp and things like that. Like I am now. But I bet if you were training camp his rookie year, Dale would go to Pursuit and be like, oh. You know what I mean? Like,
that looks a little different.
Yeah, like, oh. And then you see it again. And then you see it again. And then he does it in the preseason. And then he does it in week 6. Or like, okay. I think we got our guy.
Yes, we do. That's a good call, too. There's some times where you just, in practice, everyone's like, this looks a little bit different.
Well, yeah, I'll take that. And I bet Mahomes was unbelievable in practice that rookie year. Can you imagine with scout team and ripping up the first team defense?
Fun. Like a similar example of that back to my days of working around the athletic department at WVU. Mm-hmm. You remember Will Greer, obviously.
Sure,
he's still on the Cowboys practice squad, I think. Had a nice college career at Florida and then WVU. He was a third round pick of the Carolina Panthers. Yeah. His first year that he got to WVU was still when you had to sit out. This was pre-transfer portal. You still had to sit out a year.
If you transferred.
In the old school rules.
Mm-hmm.
We had a quarterback that year named Skylar Howard, who was fine. He was a fine college quarterback.
Okay.
Never did anything in the pros, but fine college quarterback. We went 10-2 that year, had a really good year. We're ranked 11th, 12th, 13th.
But I assume Greer's practicing with the team.
Greer was the practice squad quarterback.
Yeah.
And despite having a 10-2 top 15 team all year, all I heard from everybody around the program was, this guy Will Greer is way better. Our best player is the practice squad quarterback.
We might be 12-0 with him.
And that was
right.
a 10-2, like,
good team.
top 20, top 15 ranked team.
Yeah.
So when you hear stuff like that, it really.
I bet Reed thought the same thing. Like, Alex Smith's pretty darn good.
We're 12-4, but this
wait
guy
till we roll
Mahomes
this
is
guy.
even better. Yes,
and he was
exactly.
right. And I'm sure the same was true with Lamar. Like Lamar, remember his rookie year, he'd come in for like a series or a couple plays. And
you've told these stories about Larry before, where you guys were like,
great point.
You guys were like going into who was the coach at that time?
Walt Harris was our head coach.
And you were like, Coach, throw the ball to Larry. Like this guy.
I said to JD, the wide receivers coach.
This guy's unbelievable.
I didn't have the guts to say it, the head coach at the time. But we knew. We knew he was a big time recruit. But it was different whenever he came to like his first training camp because we had good receivers. Antonio Bryant had just left. We were able to recruit that position, because he just won the Biletnikoff. Mm-hmm. We didn't know Larry was going to win the Biletnikoff. But Larry gets there as an 18-year-old, and we knew he was going to be our best recruit that year, our best new guy. Mm-hmm. But basically from day one on the practice field, he was beating Shante Spencer, Torrey Cox. Both those guys were drafted for his corners. They were really good Big East corners and had good NFL careers, and they were 3 years older than him. So it was like, he might be our best guy now,
I know I've told you this story before, but I was told by people around the program when Zach Frazier was a freshman.
Yeah.
That guy's showing the seniors how it's done.
Yeah.
When he was a freshman, they were like, he's the leader in that offensive lineman.
That's how Pouncey was, I think, too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you start hearing stuff like that, that's...
I'll never forget. I did way back then. I did the pregame, postgame show, and Crawley was my co-host at the time. Yeah. And I think it was Pouncey's first time.
You can't escape us Mountaineer slappers, can you?
I think it was the first time Pouncey ever put a helmet on for the Steelers and actually played a game. And he's like, Crowley asked me, he's like, how good do you think he is? I'm like,
he's the best one.
I think he's the best guy on the team. He just came out of his stance and was incredible and was like, he might be their best guy.
Matthew tweets us and says, how do we feel about the possibility, do we believe that the Steelers could trade up in the first round to get maybe the third or fourth wide receiver on their big board if they start getting drafted early?
Maybe.
I wouldn't say fall. If they went from 21 to 17.
Yeah, I don't think you're going real far.
Like they did with Broderick Jones that year. I think that was from, 17 to 14 or something like that.
If it costs you number 99 to do it, so be it. If you love Concepcion or whatever. I would understand that. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know that the line of demarcation will be that much different from sticking or moving up three spots at that position right now.
Agreed. Steeler Nation 920 says, thanks for turning me on to KC Concepcion. Wow, phenomenal burst. Always seems to be in the right place at the right time. Route running is great. Body control, keeps his feet. He says, I know we're not big on the comparisons, but I can see a little number 84 Antonio Brown in that guy.
There's a little.
Andre tweets us and says, I was a big Mike Tomlin fan. I wasn't crazy at first about the hiring of Mike McCarthy. But as I've taken my I miss Tomlin glasses off and logically look at all the additions, coaches and players, I'm very optimistic about what's been done. I'm very optimistic about what's been done, too.
Right.
I like the coaching staff that they put together, particularly all those offensive line coaches on the offensive side of the ball.
I love the heavy O-line influence.
I love that. I really do. Let's see here, man.
And they may have got the exact same dudes if Tomlin was still here, but I think they did really well in free agency roster-wise.
Yes. Troy tweets us and says, are you guys going to be at the draft? If you are, is it possible for me to get a picture, maybe an autograph with me and my son-in-law there at the event? Love the show. Never miss an episode. I think we will
Seems very unlikely.
I think we're going to be at the Steelers facility kind of in our own bubble.
Where we always are, yeah.
But, Troy, if you come to training camp, if you're able ever to get to St. Vincent,
Latrobe,
we would be happy to take a picture for you, sign anything. It's still
hilarious.
I'd
love to meet your son or whatever.
Still hilarious to me, but people do ask us to sign terrible towels and things like that. Hey, if you want us to, I will.
It'll go down in value, but you're more than welcome to, yeah.
But that's if you want to get autographs, if you want to get pictures with us, usually training camp is the best place to do it, because other than that, we're kind of like secluded in our own bubble most of the time.
Yeah.
Matt, 2 random ones, funny ones to get us out of here for the week, okay? Ryan tweets and says, as a fellow music aficionado and concert gig poster collector, I need to know what's Wes's most prized poster hanging in the basement. 2, so I have rules for concert memorabilia.
I have a follow-up question, but okay.
It either has to be from a show before I was born, or it has to be a show I went to. Those are my rules.
Wow, okay.
Makes sense?
So I'm going to hijack it just for 2 seconds, but my co-host, Robert Flores, with the Football Today podcast on ESPN, he had these jersey rules. Like, you can't wear someone younger than you. He has a couple rules like that, too, and I'm cool with the rules.
Kind of similar like that. It either has to be from a show that happened before I was born, or it has to be one that I went to. So the two that I would say is I have a poster from, do you remember the Stanley Theater in Oakland?
Yes.
In the 80s concert venue? Yeah. My dad's 21st birthday was January 24th, 1986 was my dad's 21st birthday.
Okay.
My dad and I both love, my dad is a classical music guy, but he loves Stevie Wonder, he loves The Police, and he loves Stevie Ray Vaughan. Okay. Those are his favorites. Rock and roll wheelhouse. I have Stevie Ray Vaughan on my dad's 21st birthday played the Stanley Theater, and I have the concert poster.
Very cool.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Neither of you were there.
No, neither of us were there. But the fact it's my dad's 21st birthday.
The date matters.
It's in Pittsburgh at a venue that no longer exists.
Oh, then that's number one on your list.
Stevie Ray Vaughan. And then I also have New Year's Day 1969 Grateful Dead at Winterland, which is an old iconic San Francisco music venue that
that's
no
like
longer
their
exists.
home turf.
And it's like free breakfast it's like 6-hour show, free breakfast at dawn. Grateful Dead New Year's party, Winterland.
Summer of '69.
So it would be one of those two.
That's pretty cool.
In terms of my most prized
So would that be
posters.
like the Dead's home court?
Winterland was there for yes.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. That's a good way to put it. Yes.
So my follow-up question is any of it based off value? Like, do you know, I don't know, you have 10 of them, you have 100 of them, I have no idea. Do you know the value of them all?
Yeah, some of them are probably worth $600, $700. The more expensive ones.
The real nice,
yeah.
And I'm sure condition matters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have holes in them and stuff.
Exactly right. And mine are all like very good condition, up in frames, type thing.
Yeah.
But I would say, I have some that are probably worth $100, and then I've got a couple that are probably worth $600-700.
Yeah. You could stick them on eBay or whatever and get something for them. Yeah.
Yes, if I wanted to, certainly.
Right.
I also, now that you got me on this, I have Bob Marley from the Civic Arena concert poster, which is pretty sweet too.
Think of the fog in there.
Yeah, let's stay with the fog. That's what we'll call it.
I was
Luke.
If you were in like the cheap seats, you think you could even see Bob by the end of the show?
No chance.
No chance.
You might have been feeling a little wonky. Hey, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll.
Yeah, he should only play outdoor.
Last one.
Or well ventilated.
Did they have the Civic Arena open on that day? Did they open the roof? Luke tweets
all the pigeons are hovering above, Right?
Luke tweets and says, random, how do you guys feel about lacrosse? I love lacrosse. I think it's great. I don't know much about it.
I don't know a ton about it.
But my sister was a Whippeal champion in lacrosse, state runner-up. My sister was a good high school lacrosse player. I liked watching her play. I like it anytime I'm around it. I have a stick because I used to run drills with my sister. It's one of those sports that if it was more popular when I was a kid, I think I definitely would have been interested in playing.
I respect it. I mean, they work hard. It's physical.
It's very physical.
Yeah.
The guys' game is heavy metal, man. They wail on each other.
That's what I was going to say. My daughter played 8th and 9th grade.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough watch.
It's different. Some of the girls' rules are wonky.
They don't really play defense, or you can't touch each other. Because like a buddy of mine I was with, his daughter was on the team, and he played in college, and I'm really new to it. I'm like, is this what you played in college?
He's like,
sport. No, dude,
it's a different sport.
This is not how we played in college.
But I like lacrosse. I do. I don't know a ton about it. I didn't grow up playing or anything, but I think it's a really cool sport. That'll do it for us today. Reminder. Weird shows next week will be on Sunday.
Yeah. We'll still take tweets,
shows.
I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely. Business as usual. We'll just be in a different location. We'll be giving you a Sunday show. We'll be giving you a bonus hour, all those good things. But that will do it for us today. Thanks to Mr. TV, Tyler V, on the video side of things. We're going to miss you, TV, these few days without you in Arizona, but we'll see him on the back end of next week. For Matt Williamson, I'm Wes Uhler. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you soon from sunny Phoenix, Arizona. As always, you know where to find us. It's on your 24/7 home of the black and gold, Steelers Nation Radio on the Steelers Audio Network.